What's up, coaches? Welcome to the 1K Offers 3-day experience, where we're going to be teaching you how to build and sell a $1,000 coaching program. Whether that is your first program that you're charging $1,000 for, or whether you want to upscale to a $1,000 per month program, we will be showing you what it takes to provide $1,000 of value in your programs today. Without further ado, shall we dive in, Kate?
We shall. Let's do it.
Awesome. Well, let's get the screen share and the slideshow going. All right. So today is a really important day in this process of building and selling your $1,000 offer, because I think in order to sell a $1,000 offer, you have to actually have a program that you're proud to pitch. Because when it comes to selling something, if you don't believe in it, it doesn't really feel good to sell it. And whoever you're selling it to is probably going to sense that energy and not see the value in it. So today is about helping you see the value in what you are delivering and providing, $1,000 of value in your coaching program. So before we get into this, I think it's really important to make sure that you're not wasting your next 3 days. So this program that we're going through today is for you if you already have coaching experience. And the reason we say you should already have coaching experience is because we want to make sure that you actually are a coach, somebody who should be charging $1,000 per month or $1,000 for your program. If you're an absolute brand spanking newbie, you probably should be pricing a little bit lower. And we'll talk about that in a second. The other thing is that you should have confidence in your ability to get results for clients, because ultimately there's nothing that you can do that provides $1,000 of value if you can't actually get the result that your clients want. So you should actually be confident in your ability to get results for clients. If not, that's probably the place to start, is getting confidence in getting results for clients. And that obviously comes from things like experience coaching. All right. So that's probably where you want to start before moving to a $1,000 offer. The other thing here is this program is for certified coaches who want to make coaching a career, because this is one of the fastest ways to do it. If you just want this to be a side hustle passion project and the income coming in from your coaching business is not of any consequence to you, well, then you probably don't need to price at $1,000 a month or $1,000 for your offer. Like, maybe you can to make it prohibitive and keep your client load low. But ultimately, this is for you coaches who actually want to build a career as a nutrition coach, health coach, or RD. And if you are not already charging $500 to $1,000 per month for your program, this is definitely a program for you, because we're going to show you exactly how to do that, how to actually boost the amount of value in your program to $500 to $1,000 per month, and the best way for you to be able to position yourself in a way to sell a program that is valued at $500 to $1,000 per month. All right. So as I alluded to before, this program is not for coaches who are brand new to coaching. If you've never had a paying client, if you're brand new to coaching, this isn't going to be super helpful for you yet. You might watch this because it's interesting, but I would say send me or Sean a DM and let us know, hey, I signed up for this program, but I'm brand new. I'm either going through my certification, I'm not certified, I haven't had a paying client, I don't have any confidence in getting client results yet because I haven't worked with anybody. Just DM us. We'll give you a better first step, and you can just, log out right now, shoot us a DM, save yourself the 3 days, because like I said, this is for coaches who are a little bit further along in their journey, and it might not be super relevant in terms of the best next step for you. All right, so diving in, for those of you who don't know us, because we notice a few new faces around, I thought it would be good for Kate and I to introduce ourselves. So let's start with Kate, since I've been yammering away.
What's up, guys? My name is Kate Jaramillo, and I'm the founder of Ketogenic Living 101. And look, my story is probably similar to where most of you are or were. I was a fitness coach teaching so many classes per week, and I was hustling in my multi-level marketing company, and I was able to go full-time in my business when I created a niche offer. Once 16 months into my business with that niche offer, I hit that 6-figure run rate 16 months after I launched that coaching offer, and it blew up. It was the new thing in the market, and I had a lot of people coming in for it. But I'm going to tell you a story about that a little bit later on. So let's put a pin on that one for now. What's most important for me is I'm a mom of 4 kids, a teenager, a tweenager, a wannabe tween, and a 3-nager. So you guys, I am in it right now. And it was really important for me to have time in my business so that I could just spend time away and have more time with my kids. They really need me right now. They always need me, but they really need me right now. And the way I'm able to do that is I focus. I don't do stuff that doesn't matter in my business or for my clients.
Awesome. Yeah. And I always say that Kate gets like 6 gold stars for building her business with 4 kids that need her. Whereas, yeah, I just am me, taking care of myself and my beautiful wife, Camille. So me, I am Matt Warren. I founded a nutrition coaching company called Beyond Macros, and we grew to a staff of 6 nutrition coaches, health coaches, and RDs. We served thousands of clients while we were a nutrition coaching business. We had 2 different multi-6-figure offers. One was a 101 VIP $1,000 a month program, and the other one was a $500 a month group coaching program. So I think something that, other than the revenue, that really is something that I kind of hang my hat on, is that we were able to retain clients at a 9-month average. And this is over thousands of clients, a 9-month average, despite the fact that we had $500 to $1,000 per month price tag. And I tell that to you because I know a lot of people think if I raise my prices, people aren't going to stick around as long. But I found that actually to not be true, because when I was charging less, my average retention was actually 4 months. All right. And the cool thing is that I was only working 4 hours per week at the peak, like at my peak of kind of time freedom. So what we're going to be teaching you in this program, in this 1K offers experience, is ultimately how you can develop that level of time freedom for yourself while also getting amazing results for your clients. And potentially, if this is where you want to go with your business, like me, hiring other people, providing employment opportunities for other coaches, and really making a big impact. But for you, if you just want to work 4 hours per week and earn a couple $1,000s, making it your career, focusing on kind of other things you're interested in, well, that's totally within the realm of what's possible for you if you have a $1,000 offer. So what we're going to be talking about over the next 3 days is today, obviously, we're going to go over the case for making a $1,000 offer and how you can build yours and build $1,000 of value into yours. Tomorrow, we're actually going to be doing a VIP coach Q&A with some amazing coaches. Just happens that they all have a name that starts with the letter J. So we're going to have Triple J Q&A, and you can ask them anything that you want about what they've put into their coaching package that they sell for over $500 per month, how they sell it, what they do when they get price objections. Any questions you have, you can ask it to them tomorrow. And then on day 3, our final day, we're going to teach you how to sell your $1,000 offer without getting many price objections. And we're going to not go over like the sales script. What we're actually going to be going over is a kind of sneaky strategy to be able to position you as somebody who people are like, wow, I get to work with Kate. All right, so let's dive in first to today's content, which is starts off with why a $1,000 offer? Why should you create a $1,000 offer? And there's so many reasons why creating a $1,000 offer is really useful in business, both for your business model as well as for getting client results. But ultimately, it means that you can work with less clients and still become a full-time coach. If you're charging $1,000 per month, I think most people I talk to, their living expenses somewhere between $3,000 to $4,000 per month. So, after taxes, if you have 5, 6 clients, it's like you're paying for your life. All of your living expenses are covered. So, you could have 5 to 6 clients and be a full-time coach. You don't really need to have anything else. And you're going to get more buy-in from your clients. But I actually wrote a post the other day about how really what ends up happening, the reason you get more buy-in from your clients is when you're making $1,000 offer, you're actually more bought in. And your clients kind of reflect that. When you're more bought into the process, you're going to get more buy-in from them. For those of you who actually want to hire a team or move towards paid ads or paid acquisition, when you have $1,000 offer, you actually have more profit margin to be able to hire somebody else, to be able to pay for ads, and to still have money that you get to take home at the end of the day. And for those of you who are like, oh man, you know, like $1,000, I don't know if people are going to be able to afford that. Like, what if there's a client who I would love to work with, but they just can't afford it? Well, if you're charging $1,000 per month, you can actually support scholarships for clients who might not be able to afford it, but you're like, they're center of the bullseye. This is somebody I would love to work with, someone I would love to support. And you can potentially give them some financial aid or a scholarship to work with you because you have a bunch of other people who, again, are supporting your lifestyle, who are paying the bills and allowing you to make this into a career. And ultimately, I see a lot of people go about this in reverse. They start kind of low ticket. They try to create a course or a program or, you know, like an education platform. You know, they go into Trainerize and they create this like step-by-step process, but they haven't had enough experience yet. Well, when you create $1,000 offer and you're working with these clients in a very intensive way, you actually develop a lot more material that you can then use to repurpose into a lower ticket type of offer that's a little bit more automated and evergreen. So I think the other thing we need to do in terms of making a case for building $1,000 offer is to go over offer economics. So we've got a scenario here where if you were charging $250 per month and you were paying another coach $100 per month to coach that client, and let's say you weren't running paid ads, that was your only costs, then you'd have $150 take-home margin per month. If you increased the price of your program to $500 per month, and you were still paying that coach $100 per month to coach the client, then you'd have $400 of take-home margin per month. So if your goal was $6,000 per month take-home to be full-time as a nutrition or health coach or RD, well, at $250 per month, you would need 40 clients in order for you to earn that much. If you just doubled your prices, you would have to work with less than half of that. You would be at 15 clients in order for you to be a full-time coach. So I am asking you, which is more realistic? You know, based off of your current experience with lead generation and sales and getting clients, what seems more realistic for you? Having 40 clients on the go at all times, you know, putting the effort and energy into, you know, selling and marketing to that many clients, as well as fulfilling for that many clients, or, you know, 15 clients at $500 per month. And again, look at the price point. You might be thinking like, well, it seems like it would be hard for me to sell at $500 per month. So maybe you actually think it would be easier to get 40 low ticket. Drop in the chat what you think would be more realistic for you based off of your current experience. I'm open to being wrong here. All right, and here's the other thing. If we take a look here, you know, 40 clients, 50 clients, 40 clients, it requires more marketing. More marketing is going to increase your costs, both time and money. So if you need to get like 40, 50 clients to be full-time, you know, it's possible to get there organically, no doubt about it. It just takes a lot of time to get the wheels turning organically to have 50 clients at a time. Now, if you wanted to fast track your way there, you would probably have to move into paid acquisition, which again costs time because you have to build like a front end funnel and you have to dial it in and tweak it. And you really have to put a lot of time and energy into learning paid acquisition and setting up everything to actually move people through a paid acquisition funnel. Again, time. And now you're increasing the amount of money that you're putting in. So your margin actually drops. You actually need to bring in more clients. So it actually puts you on this hamster wheel of, you know, more marketing and sales, time and money means you need more clients, which means that you have less time for each client on actually fulfilling your promises and getting them results. That means that you have less retention as well as less referrals. So again, it's this self-fulfilling thing where the more clients you need in order for you to be making a living, the more time and the more money you're going to have to commit. And it puts you on this hamster wheel where it's actually like you're working against yourself. If we actually compare that here to if you only need 15 clients, 15 clients, it requires minimal marketing. If you're newer, it's going to take you some time to really get the wheels turning organically, but this is completely within reason to have 15 clients without spending a single dollar on paid ads. If you've already got a decent brand, it's probably pretty easy. Some of you might already have 15 clients. Like, who here right now already has or is almost at 15 clients just from organic? Like, let us know in the chat. And because you're able to spend less time on marketing and sales, means you're able to spend more time on fulfilling your promises and getting results for your clients. More time on fulfillment, better results. Better results generally leads to better retention and more referrals. So it creates a business that's like a fountain, meaning every client you put in, that client sticks around, a fountain kind of recycles, and then they're going to be referring other people in. So it's a business where it doesn't feel like you're constantly battling to keep things going. It kind of is self-fulfilling. So for those of you who are interested in being able to actually hire some other coaches to fulfill on the promises, to potentially be able to scale your business using paid acquisitions, we have another scenario here, and we'll run through this really quick because I know people get bored by numbers, except for me. If you're like me, you love this stuff. But let's say that you were charging $250 a month. You had $150 per month of costs to pay the coach, as well as paid ads. Then you have a $100 take-home margin. $500 a month, your costs would probably increase. You have a $300 take-home margin. $1,000 a month, your costs again would probably increase, but now you have $750 a month of take-home margin. If your goal was $9,000 a month, you want to be making six figures, that amount of take-home pay requires 80 clients at $250 a month, 30 clients at $500 a month, or 12 clients at $1,000 a month. So again, which of these scenarios seems more realistic? And again, if you have 12 clients, you probably don't even need to hire coaches. At 12 clients, you probably can do all the fulfillment yourself and just put your budget into, paid acquisition. You might not even need to do paid acquisition to get 12 clients. So in fact, you might actually be taking home $12,000 a month instead of $9,000 a month. Whereas that's probably not the case at, let's say, 80 clients. So what feels more realistic to you? Which of these scenarios? So hopefully this is painting the picture for why at least having $1,000 per month offer can be a super useful thing within your coaching business. And there's a few things that we find people are like, well, yeah, Matt, you're right. Like the offer economics work out, but, we're going to go over all these, like $1,000 offer would be nice, but that we hear from coaches. And the first one is, I don't only want to work with people just because they have money. And I totally get this. I also felt similarly. I was like, a lot of the people who I really enjoy working with, they're competitive athletes. And for those of you who have tried to work with a competitive athlete niche, they don't really have a lot of money. All of their spare time goes into training and paying coaches, and their sponsors generally don't give them that much money. And ultimately, because they are so focused on their competitive athletic career, they don't really have something else that is making them buku bucks, unless you're working with top tier athletes. So for me, because I wanted to work with some competitive athletes, I actually gave them a scholarship because they were the type of clients that I loved working with. And then pretty much everybody else, it was normal payment. So you don't just have to work with people because they have money. When you are offering $1,000 per month program, you can afford to give a perfect client a scholarship or financial aid. So next up, I'm going to have Kate take this one because, again, I was yammering away and I was probably boring with numbers, and Kate's more fun.
Well, so there's a common objection that we hear a lot from coaches who really want to grow their income while making an impact. And they're like, oh my God, I don't know. Nobody is willing to pay $1,000 per month. But this couldn't be further from the truth. We've worked with several coaches who started out charging, experienced coaches, career coaches who started working with us and went for it right away at that $1,000 per month mark. And guess what? They were enrolling clients, paid in full, like you're about to see on the next slide. We talk about Sudipta a lot, and I celebrate her wins often in this community, and she really is somebody to look up to and admire because she is someone who goes for it. She actually charges more than $1,000 a month for her one-on-one support, and her lower support options begin at $500 per month for 6 months. This woman consistently enrolls at least 5 new clients per month, paying in full. Rarely do they take a monthly payment plan. Of course, it's an option, but most of the time they are paying in full for their 6 months. And guess what? She retains them. Typically, she retains her clients for 9 months or more. And it's because they get these amazing results while working with her. They love the experience and they continue on because she has a continuation offer so that they can understand how to maintain the results that they've achieved while working with Sudipta. Her niche is professional Indian women who want to lose weight, and she shows up for them all the time. Sudipta is someone that has clarity in who she wants to work with and how she wants to serve them. And because she has that clarity, clarity creates speed. It magnetizes people to her. She speaks their language, she knows exactly what they want, and she knows how to serve them. She can easily charge more than $1,000 per month, and her clients are more than willing to pay for it time and time again.
Yeah, Sudipta's a rock star.
She is, as are you, coaches.
All right. Well, here's another but we hear. It's like, oh, $1,000 per month program would be great, but people in my network can't afford it. And look, I get it. Like, if you live in a place that the cost of living is super low, the salaries are super low, maybe people in your local network can't afford $1,000 per month. I'm not going to be one of those, business coaches who says, oh, you're just, not showing them the value. Like logistically, realistically, there's going to be people who can't afford it. And maybe you live in an area or a country or, a state where $1,000 per month would just be something that only the most wealthy people in your area could afford. But ultimately, I think a lot of people are self-limiting in terms of being like, well, nobody would be willing to pay $500 a month, $250 a month, whatever. Why can't you, let's say if you live in a country where $1,000 per month would be ridiculous, but like 200 per month would be, the equivalent of $1,000 for somebody in the US per month. Why couldn't you charge 200, 250 per month? Why shouldn't you be paid the same amount as, someone else at kind of the top tier of your society? But ultimately, I hear this one from people who are like, well, my niche won't pay it. People in my network won't pay it. And I think Sammy is an amazing example of somebody who targeted a niche that most people would think there's no way, if you target that niche, there is no way that people are going to be able to afford that. She was targeting creatives, also known as starving artists. I'm sure most of you have heard that. And yet she charged $500 per month for one-on-one coaching. And she was able to go full-time in her coaching business within 3 months, targeting a niche that most people would have been like, there's no way. There's no way that starving artists who are, living out in Hollywood trying to, scrape by and be able to like create a career in film or theater or whatever, there's no way that those people are going to pay that. And they did. And this woman right here was able to actually build a career as a coach, despite the fact that she could have had this excuse that people in my network can't afford it, because most of her network was people in theater, people who were like actually creatives. And she even had these reservations at first, but ultimately she broke through that limiting belief and she was able to create an amazing coaching business. All right, so this is one that I thought, just based off of current economic times, I've started to hear this a little bit. People aren't spending money right now with inflation. Like money's tight, blah, blah, blah. I actually just went to this is going to be incredibly boring for most of you. I went to a event that my bank was putting on. And the chief economist of the bank was showing us all of the economic indicators. And I'm not going to go into all of them, but one thing that I found very interesting was that, at least here in Australia, household savings are the highest they have ever been in the last 20 years. And also, people have not stopped spending money just because of inflation. And I'll give you one more. Inflation means that every day that goes by that you don't spend your dollar is worth less. So inflation's a terrible reason not to spend money. And anywhere that inflation runs rampant, people are fighting to spend their money, because if they don't, then tomorrow it's going to be worth less. So this is one of those ones that from an economic perspective, I'm like, all right, like I can debunk that economically, but at the same time, if we look back to 2020, in March of 2020, the world was shocked. COVID had just hit. Nobody really knew at that point how long lockdowns were going to last. Nobody really knew how long this was going to be affecting us. A lot of people at that point were actually pulling back on their spending. There was a lot more fear, and we were coaching people in 2020, coaching coaches, and a lot of them were afraid, like, oh, Matt, with this pandemic, are people really going to be spending money on coaching, blah blah blah. Well, it turned out, yes, they were. We ran a challenge to help people get clients at the beginning of the pandemic. And we had people on average getting 4 clients paying $500 per month during one of the most uncertain periods where so many people were supposed to be, penny pinching. So there's always going to be some out there reason that you might come up with, or people might tell you that people aren't spending money. Oh, the economy. Oh, inflation. Oh, a pandemic has happened. But ultimately, that's BS. Like, if people actually prioritize their health, they are going to spend money on it. All right.
Oh,
want to take this one away?
I sure do. Yeah, but people are telling me that it's too expensive now, and I'm only charging $200 per month. Coach, let me tell you something. I've said this before and I will say it again. The loudest boos come from the cheapest seats. Okay, so people who are looking for cheap nutrition coaching or just a random deal, or they're comparing you to a meal plan that they've found on Pinterest, they are not your soulmate clients. Your soulmate clients are ones that are really willing and ready to invest in themselves. And they see this value and they're just like, yeah, they're excited. Investing in themselves actually makes them feel really abundant, and they're completely bought into your program. They believe in you. And most importantly, now they believe in themselves, that this is actually the time that they can do it. And I'm going to actually tell you 2 stories right now about coaches who have been there, who have been charging under $200 a month, have heard, no, it's way too expensive, up their prices and started to kill it. The first one is Tiffany. We've had Tiffany in here many times, and she was getting a lot of, oh, that's too expensive. And she was just charging about $100 a month. I actually think slightly less when we first started working together. She 3 times her rate, she 3x her rate, and now she enrolls people with ease. She has so much more confidence, and there is a perceived value with a higher ticket price. Look, if you have a pen, and I say to you, you need a pen, this one is just $1. This one is $10. Which pen do you want? I want the $10 pen, because I think that pen is going to write in fairy words and become a unicorn, right? It's a perceived value. People enjoy investing at that level. They truly do. And her niche is CrossFitters that are looking for fat loss and performance gains. And I really want to dig into this too, because so many people that are working with a niche that is filled with fitness enthusiasts or CrossFitters, or, people who love, spin, and they invest in SoulCycle, they're like, oh, well, they're already investing so much money in their membership, their boutique studio, their fitness classes. They can't invest more than $100, $200 a month in nutrition coaching. They can, they will, they do. Tiffany is a perfect example. There's this other girl that was charging $199 a month for a 7-week group coaching program. Let's call her Throwback Kate. Look, it's me. It's a throwback with me with short hair. Okay, listen, I loved my $199 7-week group coaching program. It was actually 7 weeks because there was a 1 week prep week. But I was hustling and haggling with people for that $199 a month. I mean, I was like setting people up on 12-month payment plans. All right. For $199. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't even per month, $199, all inclusive. And I mean, everybody was getting so much one-on-one attention from me. I felt like I was like grinding away, always on my phone. And I love my clients and I loved what I was doing, but I was like, oh my God, like I can't keep this up. Like I'm not going to be able to give the same experience that I want to be able to give to everyone, like with just this much money. And also I feel like I'm not spending time with my family. And so I actually just went for it and I raised my rate to $499 a month. I just, out of nowhere, I was like, this is what I'm charging. I had actually created a really great collaborative partnership with somebody else that I did an online summit for. And you know what? I went for it. It was really, I spoke it with ease and confidence. Yeah. How much is your program? It's $499 a month. And people were like, yeah, let's do it. Just sign me up. And I became fully booked out in my one-on-one coaching. Once I created a $3,000 coaching offer, I had my first 20K month. The month that I created a $3,000 offer, I had my first $20,000 month. My niche was moms who wanted to lose weight with a ketogenic lifestyle. If I did it, I know you can, and I'm so excited to show you how.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I love hearing that story, Kate.
I love this quote by Liza Minnelli, and I love her, our IP girl. So she said, reality is something you rise above. So if your current reality has been getting it's too expensive at your $200, or less rate per month, if your current reality has been, no one in my local network can afford me, no one's willing to pay $1,000 or more per month, I don't want to, work with just this rich, like work with wealthy people, whatever your current reality has been, what can you do to rise above that? How can you listen a little better, offer a little more value, step into your own value, and rise up and create the business that you really want? You all know, if you've been around here at all, or if you listen to our podcast, that my favorite acronym for fear is face everything and rise. So if your current reality is not producing the business and the lifestyle that you want, figure out a way, become resourceful, rise above it, and figure out that way to change your current reality to one that does support the business and the life of your dreams. That's all.
Amen, Kate. Amen. So hopefully after essentially having an amazing pump up speech by Kate, you are bought in and you are ready to rise up and raise your prices. Hopefully through the boring old numbers that I presented, the amazing motivational speech that Kate presented, and us kind of debunking some of those common things that we hear when people are too afraid to raise their prices, you're actually ready. You're like, okay, I'm bought in, Matt and Kate, I'm ready. So here's what we recommend to actually build out a program where you're providing $1,000 of value to your clients without having to go through avatar, feature, and benefits exercises that you have probably done or been told to do before. So the first step here is market research. And market research, the thing that I really want to impress on you here is that if you are an experienced coach, you might be thinking, well, I coach clients every day. I talk to clients every day. Do I really need to do market research? And the answer is yes. I was an experienced coach the first time that I did market research. And I recognized that I had a lot of biases and assumptions that I was making about my clients. And until I did market research and actually asked them the questions that I asked them, it wasn't until then that I realized, oh, wow, I'm making a lot of assumptions about what is important to these people. Or maybe I am not understanding the order of their priorities, and I'm speaking to lower priorities when really there's higher priorities that I could speak to. And ultimately, if right now your market is not responding to your message, if right now you are getting people who are telling you that's too expensive, or you're putting out content and it's not really speaking to the people who you want to attract, you definitely got to do market research. And this is one of the first steps that Kate takes our clients through in our VIP Coach Academy and in our VIP Coach Mentorship. If you're already a coach who has clients, this is a really important thing to go through. And there's some reasons why we would take you through market research. But Kate, is there anything you want to say about the market research process and why it's important building 1K offer?
Yeah, one of the things that I think is so incredibly valuable is that you actually learn the language that your soulmates clients use. And this is so important when you're creating your content, when you're designing your offers, and it really trains you to listen and to ask questions that your clients have likely never been asked before. It really shows that you care, and it actually helps your clients think harder, deeper about what it is that they actually want and what's important to them. I think that market research is one of the absolute best things that you can do for your business anytime you are ready to create a new coaching offer.
Yeah, amen. And out of curiosity, who here has done market research before, like structured market research calls? And I'm not talking like if you've learned from a business coach to say, I want to book a market research call and it's a sales call. I mean, you've actually done some market research. Drop it in the chat. And before we move on to the next step, with market research, the real things that you want to uncover is through the process, you might be able to determine if your market will pay high ticket, but ultimately I think every market at least has a segment that will be willing to pay high ticket, that will be willing to pay that $1,000 per month. So you need to uncover what this segment is, but ultimately, what do they value most? If you can, through the market research process, really uncover what they value and how you can create a program that helps them get that, that's incredible. And then you also learn what it is you can solve that would be considered valuable to this market. So once we've done market research and we know thy client, we know and understand our client, then the second step is to actually know thyself and to do a little bit of a personal audit. So this is where you want to take a look. You think, what tools do you have at your disposal to help clients? When I was getting started, I was like, okay, well, I've only got a precision nutrition as a nutrition coach. But prior to that, I had, my CrossFit level 1, I had a few CrossFit specialty certifications. I, did my FMS. I had all of these different kind of tools that were in my toolkit that were at my disposal to help clients. So I just it was like I opened my toolbox, laid all the tools out and took a look at them. And you want to do the same. And it might not just be nutrition. You might have life experiences that, are a tool that are in your toolkit. There might be something outside of the realm of nutrition, but it's very relevant or a very potent tool that helps somebody, in their life. So we want to lay out our toolkit and look at our tools. Then the next thing we want to do in our personal audit is we want to think about, okay, how much support are we willing to give clients for $1,000 per month? And funny enough, my first $1,000 per month program, I literally flew from Los Angeles to Bainbridge Island. So I had to fly to Seattle and then take a ferry over to Bainbridge Island to go for an in-home VIP day for one of my clients. That's what I was willing to do for $1,000 per month. So, you want to think, what are you willing to give your clients for $1,000 per month? All right, for you, it might be different. Now, what problems are you confident you can solve? And that might be looking back at the market research and seeing which problems they have that you're confident you can solve. But ultimately, what are you confident you can help somebody solve? We want to, again, lay your toolkit out. And one of the best things that you can do if you have testimonials is to see what have your clients valued that you helped them with in the past. This is one of the this is a gold mine. Looking back at your old testimonials and case studies, you are going to see reflected back to you what you do really well. Because often it's what our clients are seeing reflected back at us that is, the most potent medicine that we're able to give. And Kate, would you add anything in terms of personal audit here?
Nope, I think everything is just spot on. I think again, like how much, like what are your tools? What are you willing to do? How much support are you willing to give? Those problems that you can confidently solve. And I actually want to chat about that for just 1 second. If you have one person that came up in your market research that was like, yeah, I really need someone to like analyze my blood work, and that is not something that you can confidently do, you don't need to run out and get a new certification to solve one of those problems. Again, refer back to number one. What tools do you have? What experience do you have? What can you confidently do? Right? And dig into that. And I want to say too, like you are an experienced coach. That's a really big deal. Don't invalidate that, right? Like imposters are people who haven't done it yet. That's all. So the best way to move through imposter syndrome is to do it, is to just do the thing that makes you scared and just do it to your best, do it to the best of your abilities. And I know we've chatted about this in this community before, but you know what? It's perfectly okay and often very respected to say, that's a great question. Do you mind? I think I know the answer, but I want to do a little bit more research to get you the exact answer that you need. So could I put a pin on this and get back to you in a couple of days? Clients love that.
Awesome. And I just saw in the chat, Cassandra was saying that the market research process was so enlightening. And I agree. I think our market research process really is a game changer in terms of getting message to market. So market research helps you know your client. Personal audit helps you know yourself. Step 3 is for you to actually create one of those beautiful Venn diagrams and outline the overlap. So Kate, I'm gonna turn it over to you on this one because yeah, you're kind of our master of offers.
I love this. I love creating offers. Okay. So again, like going back to everything that your clients are telling you that they really want. If they've invested in coaching programs before and they can explain to you what they've really enjoyed about that process or what they haven't really liked, what they're really looking for, cool. Like take those tidbits and what you're willing to do for that $1,000 a month. What can you possibly offer there? Like, what is it that is of very high value to them? And that would really help you stand out and make it very VIP. Again, going back to the language that they're using in that market research, using the exact language those exact words that they're giving you, that they're telling you, what language can you use to communicate this value? It's not hard. It's exactly the language that they're telling you that they want to lose. If they are telling you, oh my God, I really want to lose the menopause belt, use menopause belt, losing the menopause belt in your language as you create this offer for them. Mention that specifically because they told you that that is a really big struggle point for them and something that they're looking to resolve. And look, when you create an offer that feels easy, it feels easy for them to solve their problems and achieve their biggest goal. You can get them results quickly, right? And we're not saying like, that overnight success magic pill, but what could give them aha moments, especially early on, that helps them really feel bought into the program and believe in their abilities to really do this? What could you do to get them some fast results? And it doesn't always have to be scales or inches. Sometimes it can be something like, oh my God, I never knew this about myself. And now I'm so glad I do because this changes everything. It could be awareness around what they're thinking, feeling, doing around food or whatever else that they're doing. And how can you make it fun? How can you make the process to getting to their goals, overcoming their obstacles, and getting to the single biggest result that they really want more than anything in the world that they've told you in your market research? They are a 10 out of 10. I can't wait to do this yesterday. How can you make that journey as enjoyable as possible? It's likely not through a lot of restriction, but creating something that's very client-led, a choose your own coach adventure, being able to give them some options that's, hey, this is something that you can do right now that we can work together on that's going to give you some results right away. Replenishing after your long endurance workouts. Replenishing is something that we can work on for the next month. Now, if you want to take it up another level, what we could do is we could also work on meal timing and making sure that you're eating in more regular intervals. Would you like to just focus on replenishing for the next week? Or would you like to also add in that meal frequency, right? You're making it easy. You're making their choice easy for them. You're still showing leadership as the guide. You're helping them create a win right away. The results are coming fast, and you're making it super enjoyable for them. Wow, like coach is letting me get to choose. Well, I want to go with this one then. And then you guide them along the way expertly. That is how you create a VIP offer that is one of a kind, that is completely personalized to them, where you will never be price shopped again, and you will get referrals, retention, testimonials, and feel incredibly fulfilled in your business. That's it.
Amen. Yep, totally agree. And yeah, I think one thing that I noticed as a personal trainer, when that was, my first career as a coach, something that I noticed made an enjoyable experience for my clients was just getting to know them. Just in between sets, asking, like, genuinely being interested in them as human beings, and starting to get to know them, and wherever there was common ground between us, having a conversation about it. And being interested in your clients is, I think, one of the best ways to, one, make the coaching process enjoyable for you as the coach, but two, also to make the coaching process enjoyable for your clients. That was just something that came up as you were talking, Kate, so I thought I would throw that in there as well.
No, that's a really good one. And I know that we talked about Tiffany earlier, and one of her clients that she recently enrolled at, her higher level offer, had said that she was looking for a coach who gave a crap. And she felt like she knew by Tiffany and asking a lot of questions, listening, reflecting, that Tiffany did, that she really cared. And there was no price objection. The client was like, yep, here you go.
Yeah. Amen. And so here's the thing, y'all. When once you get through step 3 of this process and you've outlined the overlap, it doesn't mean that, and we'll talk more about this on day 3, but it doesn't mean that you now create one of those like signature offers that you might have seen, like if you've ever been on a webinar where people are like, and you get this and you get that and you get this and you get that and you get this and you get that. Like, we're not saying that, you take the overlap and now all of a sudden your offer is everything. But what we're going to do is on day 3, we're going to teach you how you actually take what we've created here. We're essentially creating a menu with this overlap of different things that you can do for your clients, that you can offer, problems that you can solve, things you're willing to do. We're creating this menu. And on day 3, excuse me, I'm going to be showing you how to offer them exactly what they need off of that menu. Okay, so what we need to do action step wise before we get there is, 1, I want you to post your questions as a comment for tomorrow's panel of coaches who are already charging $500 to $1,000 a month. So drop that as a comment. Maybe I'll throw up a post, but for now, if anything comes to mind, put it as a comment on this video. And anybody who does that, I'll give you 5 extra points towards our grand prize of the scholarship to VIP Coach Academy content track. So any question, you'll get 5 extra points towards that. And if that puts you over the line for any of our other prizes, awesome. I'll contact you about that. But the other action step that we need to take today is, I don't think you're going to have time by day 3 to do market research. It's a little bit longer of a process. But ultimately, what I'd love for you to do is complete your personal audit. So if we go back, take a screenshot right now of this slide and start thinking about laying out your toolkit. What do you got? What are you willing to do for $1,000 a month? What are you confident you can solve? If you can, go back, look at testimonials, case studies, interviews you've done with clients, even just text messages where they've said, oh my gosh, Kate, like, it's amazing what I've learned from you. I've had this amazing experience. Look back at that. What have your clients valued? So again, take a screenshot. I want you to do your personal audit tonight. Oops. And I want you to post your questions for tomorrow's panel of coaches who are already charging $500 to $1,000 per month. And we'll see you back here for day 2 with a little coaching Q&A. And you can take a peek inside what $1,000 programs actually look like. All right, Kate, any parting words before we end the stream?
Oh, well, you can go back to that Liza Minnelli quote and just question your current reality. And as you take that personal audit, I really want that to set an intention, right? As you're taking this personal audit, to go, awesome. So these are all of the things that I have, and use it as this like, God, like I'm so qualified. I'm so ready to do this. I'm so ready to make more of an impact and create more income for myself, my family, my life. And how can I now take this and leverage it to rise above my current reality? Get excited, coaches. Get excited for what's next. I'm so excited for you guys to take a peek inside our other coaches' offers. They are so willing to just, pull back the curtain for you and answer all of your questions tomorrow. And then on day 3, we're going to teach you guys how to sell that offer and really grow your businesses. So stay tuned and get ready to rise up.
Awesome. And I already see some amazing questions coming through. So look forward to asking them tomorrow. See you then.
Yay.
Peace.
Bye.